And we are live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Accomplished American Program Workshop 1 for Pageant Nationals, held August 2nd through the 6th, 2023. If you're watching this later and have questions, feel free to message those directly to us via email, accomplishedamericanprogram@gmail.com. There we go. And if you're come on and watch while we're live, you just type them in the comments and we will see them. I am Heather, the Accomplished American Program owner. That's the pageant and the organization.
Okay. Hey everybody, I'm Samantha. I am the Accomplished American Pageant Director.
She's more than that though, let me tell you. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. First thing we're going to do is this part, because this is why everybody's really here, right? So this is the Grand Supreme Crown, the overall highest title that you can get in our system with nationals. Okay. There is only one. And then we have the ambassador for live nationals, and that's theirs. Okay. And then we have I'm not going to take it out of the bag. Then we have the ambassador for Community Service America. And then we have, it's bigger than the other one, for Community Service America Queen. We also have the division winners. So however many divisions there are, each division will have their highest winner. And they have these ones. And then the sashes. Everybody's been asking me, what do the sashes say if you don't get ambassador or one of the highest titles? Well, they say Accomplished American National Queen, and these are the division sashes. So there's that. Awards and prizes are dependent upon sponsors. So go out and get us some sponsors for bigger prize packages. That's just how it works in the world of pageantry. I do know right now, see if I can grab it, that the Queen's Companion is donating 2 books this year again for the Community Service America and the Grand Supreme winners. So we do have them as a sponsor. Painted Unicorn?
Yes, the Painted Unicorn is providing trinket boxes. They're roughly about this big. It's a crown. I'm sorry, there's a child coming in. It's a crown trinket box, so the bottom looks like the base of a crown and the top goes inside of it. And they're going to be red, white, and blue. There will be trinket boxes, one for each queen and ambassador.
Those are the ones that we have locked down. Everybody also gets a swag bag, which is already in the giant bin over to my left. There is a giant bin full of all the stuff that we already have. So everybody will get a custom swag bag full of cool stuff. One of the fun things we like to put in them are the folding shoes. And the delegates get to pick their size shoe. There's extra large, large, small, medium, and small, I think. And they're foldable ballet flats that you can just pop in your bag when you're on an appearance or something.
Those are some of my favorite things that we've given out. I use them every appearance I go to. Nobody wants to drive to and from their appearance in their heels.
I mean, I don't really like to wear heels as it is. So.
There's that. I did have one time my shoe broke. That was the last leg of my shoe, and I was like, thank goodness for my ballet flats.
Yes. So those are one of our favorite prizes, and we have those already. Those are sponsored actually by the Accomplished American Program owner, Jim. He's the co-owner with me of the system and my husband. And he kind of got tired of us always complaining about the heels.
He did.
And so he sponsored the flats. And we've been giving those out now since 2020.
Yeah.
because he didn't want all of us ladies to suffer anymore, and he wanted us to be able to take our shoes off and still have shoes.
Not be barefoot anymore.
If you do come into the program and you sign up, you will get a welcome book. Samantha and I are very thorough people, so everything you need to know is in this welcome book. And if it's not, then you got to tell us, and we'll put it in for the next year. The book's going to be the size of a magazine pretty soon because people keep asking questions, yes, that are valid. So today's workshop, we wanted to go over awards, prizes, crowns, and then competition. One of the other thing everybody will have a choice of, and you can have both. That's because I know there's some people that are like, I want both, and I have one of them. A V-neck logoed t-shirt. They're very soft cotton, and they're going to be screen printed with our logo. And this is, hopefully I don't get flagged from YouTube for this one, but or a tank top. So those are the two options this year for shirts, and you absolutely can have both. It's part of your entry fee. It does not cost extra for shirts. Optionals, I'm gonna just say right now, what you pay for your entry fee covers everything except your travel and your hotel. Everything. So that's just one of the things. And we have one of the lowest, if not the lowest entry fee, I believe, of all national pageants so far.
I believe so. I think ours is the lowest for a national pageant. And one of the things that comes up a lot in all pageants, national or state, are the program books. You get your one free ad page included in your entry fee. So there's no additional fee for your ad page. Now, if you want more than one, yes, we'll talk about that later. But your ad page is included, and that's where you get to shout out your sponsors, promote your platform if you want to, or just have a fun picture of you and your family.
Yes. And how we can offer that is that we make the program books in-house. Mm-hmm. So the same thing with the shirts. Everything, I believe every single thing we do is in-house.
Yeah, you'll notice that our registration deadline is really close to pageant, and we can do that because we do everything in-house.
Yes. The program book is a hard deadline of July 31st because the printer decides when it prints, what it prints. I'm probably going to give it its own tiara because it is such a drama queen.
Maybe it'll play nice.
King, because it, a drama thing.
Drama thing. Yeah, I like that.
A drama thing. Well, the printer is a they, I'm pretty sure. So, speaking of that, we are an inclusive system. Okay. We have titles for all genders. And while nationals is teen and up, we have options for youngers as well, just not at nationals. We have other programs for the younger ones, but we are all inclusive, and we will accept you no matter what you identify as. The biggest issue, I believe, is dressing rooms for those who are, I don't remember the word. It's not gender neutral.
Yeah, I can't think of the word either.
I'm so sorry. My brain just stopped functioning there. But anyway, someone who identifies as a they, we will figure it out for you. It really is okay. You are safe with us. So that is one of the major things is if you don't have a she pronoun, it's not an issue with us. Our basic thing is, are you a good person? Do you like to volunteer? So we base most everything on, are you a good person and do you like to volunteer? Those are our two main criteria. What else did we, okay, so competition. Samantha was very excitedly just telling me that we have 3 options this year for interview.
Yep. So if you are an online contestant vying for the community service title, we do have options available for your interview. You can live virtual, just like we're doing right now. It would be a video chat interview with our judges. You can write or type answers to the interview questions, or you can even video record yourself answering those questions. So if you are one that really wants to showcase your personality and you feel like you can do that better through a video, that is an option. We live in the digital age. And so recording your answers to interview questions is really not a big deal. Now, if you're live, you have to interview with the judges live. You only get one option. Sorry, guys. Sorry, everyone. But we have lots more options available for our online delegates as far as submitting interview, evening gown, fun fashion, and any other optionals you might want to do. We can take short little video clips now, which is very exciting. Yay.
It is very, very exciting. One of the things that we are doing this year for all delegates is everybody gets their own, I believe it's called a Google Drive folder.
Yes.
I believe that's what it's called. Everyone gets their own Google Drive folder, and you, Samantha, and myself have access to that folder, and that is where you put all of your competition stuff. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I know scares people off is the digital portfolio, because they just don't understand how simple it is. They hear digital portfolio, and they kind of flinch a little.
I promise it's not scary. If you've researched other national pageants, it's all the same paperwork, really. We just combine it into one packet. So it's your bio, your community service log. If you're going for academic stuff, your academic information. What am I missing?
Career, if you wanted to go like Lynette did her career on Teresa, I believe. It's really no bigger than this usually.
It's not.
It's really not.
I promise you it's not scary. We just combine it all into one packet, but it's the same.
We combine it on our side. You don't have to combine it on your side. You just have to upload it.
You just upload it. We call it the portfolio because that's what we give to the judges. So it looks like a portfolio when we hand it to the judges. So it's not meant to scare you off, I promise.
No.
It's literally all the same information you would be doing for any other national or state pageant.
It really is. It really is. It's just we combine it into a portfolio. One of the things that I like to show people is that when our pageant first started, way back in 2004, 2005, this was what you had to turn in for your portfolio.
Digital
you had
was
to make a scrapbook. There was no digital. Yes. So you had to literally make a full scrapbook. And yes, digital age has age of the geek, baby. And so we have gotten to go completely digital with this stuff now, and actually have you just upload it, now some people in the old the miss and up categories, if their things are on paper, they might have to scan them. Mm-hmm. If it can be read clearly, we can accept pictures uploaded as well, but it has to be read clearly.
Yes. So, has got to be readable. Yes.
Let's talk about interviews.
Okay.
Interviews are mandatory in any competition that I know of that's at this level.
Yeah.
And the interview is 10 minutes, and it is your platform presentation and interview combined. So
now don't let the 10 minutes scare you though.
No, and actually what I've heard is most people are excited about 10 minutes because they are coming from systems that give them 3 to 5 minutes.
Yes, and it's not round robin, so it's not 10 minutes with every judge. It's you get 10 minutes with your full panel so that you can engage with all of the judges at the same time. They can ask questions based off your response to another judge's question, which I've found to be sometimes that's what wins over a judge is how you respond to a follow-up question.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the things that I always say is you can BS an individual. It's harder to BS a group. Now, I might have to modify that a little given the current situation, but in the pageant world, it actually is much easier to BS one-on-one judges because you can cater your answers to that particular judge's personality. That's why we do a panel, because we need to see how you work with a group of people and how you can interact with the group of people when each one has some sort of a different question. And there's a judge that maybe, oh my goodness, I didn't even think of that. And they got to have another judge ask that question. And now they've got even more to ask you. So that's one of the things I like about the panel, is definitely the judges working together to ask you the questions. And remember, your platform presentation is part of that. This year, we are moving the platform presentations to interview. So we will not be doing them on stage as part of our stage. That's normally something we do, is the on-stage platform presentation, but it's a little bulky and cumbersome.
It does get difficult depending on the platform and the materials brought, the visual aids brought. It can get a little cumbersome. So we've chosen to move it to interview.
So instead, we are going to have the platforms out on the tables. I mean, they've always been out on the tables, but we're not going to be moving them now.
There'll be a display. Essentially, it'll be like a display wall with all the different platform tables set up for you to go for, well, if you want to go look at everyone else's platforms, yes, you can do that. But also for your family and friends that are there visiting, like watching pageant, they can go and they can see all the different platforms. They can see what you've done with yours. It's kind of.
And if you are one of our virtual or online queens, you get to also pre-record your platform presentation. And then that's however long your platform presentation is, limit of 3 minutes. You don't want to cut too much into your interview time.
It's almost like an elevator pitch, but not. It's a little more in depth than an elevator pitch. And it gives us and your judges questions to ask you. What do you want to do with your platform? What else can you do? What was your favorite event? Kind of questions.
Yes. So when people ask, where do the judges get their questions from? They get it from your digital portfolio and your platform presentation. And those are how the judges ask you questions. And then some judges, they might just ask random ones. Now, one of the biggest things that I will maintain in the system for as long as I own it is no political or religious, unless you have put something political or religious as part of your portfolio or platform.
Yes.
And then that's on you, because you set yourself up for that one. But we are a secular program. Everyone is invited to compete with us. We don't care about your religion or your political views. So remember, are you a good person? Do you like to volunteer? So stage work. This is usually everybody's favorite portion. And it's taken me a little bit to get comfortable with some of the things that we are adding and moving into. There are still some things that will remain not a part of overall score, because I absolutely refuse. So the things that are part of your overall score is WowWare. Samantha, I know you love WowWare.
It's one of my favorites.
One of my favorite things is that we allow costumes and cosplay. So if you have something like that and you've just been dying to wear it, we want to see it. Okay,
so we call it WowWare, or another term you've probably heard is fun fashion. I think it's also called outfit of choice in some systems. So that's where you get to let your personality shine through. If you are a cheerleader or a gymnast, or are really into like Renaissance fairs, and my hair stuck in my pen. Or cosplay. Yes. There we go. Yeah. We want to see that part of your personality. Let it shine through.
Yes, definitely.
I'm a musician, and so my WowWare was this cute music dress, and I carried my flute. So
and props. Yes. Bring the props, all the props. Absolutely. Now, if you say you do like SCA events and things like that. And if you don't know what that is, go look it up. And you can't necessarily bring your props because you're flying in or something, contact home office and we'll see if we've got anything for you. There's a lot of things that we just happen to have.
Or we know where to get it.
Or we know where to borrow it. So if there's say a prop that you cannot transport via airplane, let us know. And we'll go over that more in another one. Formal wear. The reason that we call it formal wear, again, is that we are not pigeonholed to gown. Your formal wear could maybe be different. It could be, a floor-length gown, absolutely. It could be those rhinestone pantsuit things. They're called palazzo, I think. You could have a tuxedo. You could have a suit. The main thing is we just need to verify that it's age appropriate beforehand, and that is for all ages, all genders. We want to make sure that our teens do not have slits up to their hip and plunging necklines. It's just not appropriate for their ages. We are a national system, but we want to protect our kids. And that's getting harder and harder in the pageant world where, 13-year-olds are out there in inappropriate attire. So it's not about their personality, it's about protecting them.
And there are definitely age appropriate things that they can allow their personality to shine through. So we just want to help you harness how to do both. Keep your child or yourself safe while allowing your personality and who you are to shine through your
and I'm not saying no slits for teens. I'm just saying no all the way up to my hip slits for teens. The other thing is poise and personality. Okay. And that is your overall, you're judged every time you hit the stage in poise and personality. Okay. It's how you carry yourself, how you represent yourself, your personality throughout the competition, how you would be a representative of us in our program. One of the big things is your size doesn't matter and it will never be judged, ever. Some of the optionals they don't count towards the overall, but we have the career and academic, and those ones are part of your digital portfolio. And you submit things that kind of tell all about your academic or your career. If you've gotten promotions at work or say employee of the month kind of things, if you academically say you're on the dean's list or, you get really good grades, A's and B's, if you want your GPA, if that's still a thing. Are GPA still a thing there, Samantha? You can submit that as well. And we just need documentation for the judges to look at. And one of the things is that the reason we ask for copies and never the originals is we block out certain, things on that the judges, they don't need to know your address. They don't need to know, your school's address or any of those things. Again, we're a safety above all else kind of family.
Apologies for the interruptions. Sorry.
You're fine. Fitness. That's another one of those. They keep trying to ask me to move it into the mandatory competition. And I can't do it because body size and fitness are not the same thing. And you can be what's considered plus size and be perfectly fit individual. So that's going to be one of those my last breath ones. Fitness, I won't add it in because it's so subjective, but you can wear it's fitness attire. We're not up there in swimsuits, we're not up there in bikinis, we're in, what do you go to the gym in? Okay, what do you work out at home in? If you're an athlete, okay, you can wear whatever your athletic gear is. That's okay for your fitness. She said earlier, cheerleader, say you don't want to wear your cheerleading uniform for WOW wear, but maybe you want to wear it for fitness. That would be okay. Now, if you are a swimmer, okay, you have to be covered. So either the swim shirts and board shorts, bless you,
Thank you.
or a one piece and board shorts. We don't allow bikinis. We don't allow any of that kind of stuff. These things are done on stage in front of the audience. And we're protecting you. Photogenic, everybody's in photogenic where they want to be or not. That one's not optional. I really shouldn't say that it's an optional, because it's not optional. Whatever photo you submit me for your program
optional part is that you can submit one or two more photos.
Yeah.
That's the option.
Yes, that is exactly it. The optional part is you can submit up to 3 pictures, but really it's not optional. I award a photogenic. It's one of my favorite awards.
If you don't submit other photos, your photogenic winner is based off the headshots that are provided to us that get printed in the program book.
Yes, and the volunteer photographer for the day, because our photographers are professional or semi-professional, and they volunteer their time for us because we can't afford a real photographer. Well, they are real photographers. We can't afford their prices.
But also, being a community service-based organization, we do get a lot of people that offer to volunteer their time.
Yes, and we like that. So remember, we're non-for-profit. So, but the photographer gets to choose their favorite. And then talent. This is Samantha's favorite part of competition. Go ahead. Talk about talent.
Woohoo! Well, I don't remember if we changed the time limit.
3 minutes.
3 minutes, yeah. If we're not, it's not a hard line, so you could go over by a few seconds. That's not a big deal. But again, like everything else that we've talked about, it does have to be run by us for age appropriateness. We have 2 options for talent, which makes it even more fun. We have traditional talent such as singing, dancing, playing an instrument, typical stuff you would see. I've had other
At a
examples.
pageant, yes.
Yeah. And then we have non-traditional things. So maybe you have a talent that you cannot bring. Like you maybe can't bring your horse. If you are an equestrian, you can't really bring your horse into pageant. But if you have a recording of jumps or whatever it is that you do with your horse, you can submit a video. Or if you're a painter or we've had a not monogram.
Quilter. Nope. Had a quilter.
Monologue. There we go.
Monologue, yes.
I said monogram. I'm like, no. Monologue. We've had someone do monologue. We've had painters. We've had
crochet artists.
Yes, thank you. Crochet artists, cross stitching. That delegate brought like 3 of the cross stitch blankets that she's made and the one that she was in the process of making. So that those things are all still a talent. It's a skill that you've learned how to do. They're harder to showcase at a pageant, but we want you to still be able to showcase your talent. So if you have questions about whether your talent is traditional or non-traditional, just ask myself or Heather. And then if you need help with your wardrobe, we're more than happy to help with the wardrobe. Making sure that it matches, again, your age appropriateness, but also the category. So as a flute player, I'm not going to stand up there in maybe like a gymnast's clothes to play my flute. I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm either going to wear a typical black that a musician wears, or if I'm playing a specific song from like a movie or specific like a theater show or something like that, I might dress to match the theme. So, but talent is another time where you get to just have a lot of fun and showcase who you are. We just want to help make sure that you're doing it in a safe and appropriate way that matches you.
And again, if you say have a talent like playing piano, but you can't necessarily bring your piano with you, we have 2 options specifically for piano players. We have 2 options. Same with guitar players now. We have 2 options for guitar players now, too.
Me too.
You can borrow one here,
Mhm.
or you can submit a video of yourself playing.
Right.
So, those are things as well. And just be aware that talent is showcased at pageant.
Yes.
So if you submit a video, it's going to be up on the screen for everyone to see.
Mhm. And we have a screen this year. We have the ability
I'm
to
so
show
excited.
these videos. I'm
It
very
helps.
excited. It just have to be for the judges on a computer screen. We're going to be able to display those things.
Yes, I'm very excited about that. So those are the optionals, and remember, they're all included. You do not pay extra for optionals with us. I'm looking through my paper to see what else. Sponsors. Should we do that real quick? Sponsors.
That's a question that comes up quite often. You can get sponsors to help pay your entry fees. You can get sponsors that help pay for the fun activities that we do during pageant week. Sponsors to, nope, that's not what I was trying to say. Swag bag sponsors. There we go. So if you or someone you know has a business that they'd like to sponsor a gift to go in the swag bags, like co-owner Jim sponsors the cute little ballet shoes, and the Painted Unicorn is sponsoring for the queens. But in the past, there have been other swag bag sponsors. I can't think of any.
Yes, swag bag sponsor. That's correct.
Yeah. So there's tons of different options for sponsors. If you need help with a sponsorship letter, let us know.
We have one included in the welcome packet. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you'd like to digitally alter it to match you, we can do that as well.
And then we do have a question real quick. Okay, Lila says that she's in JROTC, and she plans on spinning her rifle as her talent. So would that be traditional or non-traditional? That's a great question, Lila.
That is a great question.
It's part of band. And
yeah, I'm going to go with traditional on
traditional.
that one.
That would be traditional. Yes.
It's
so.
It's not like color guard routines where they have rifles, but it is very along that line. You're showcasing that talent of throwing. Those rifles are heavy. I speak from experience. They are heavy. Previous JROTC. It takes skill and talent. So I'm gonna go with traditional on that one.
That is traditional. Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. I know. I love questions like that where you and I are both like, so we have firsthand experience.
That's my favorite when we have firsthand experience. It's easiest. Those are the easiest ones to answer.
Between the two of us, we've done just about everything.
Pretty much.
Okay, so let's talk about, because some people are a little nervous about the length of pageant this year, because they see the 2nd to the 6th and they're like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. So the 2nd and the 6th are the travel days for our out-of-state delegates to give them time to get here and then get back home. Those are days specifically set aside for transportation to and from the Sacramento airport.
That way you don't have to feel like, even if you're coming from, I don't know, say Southern California, you don't have to feel rushed getting to us. You get here the day before all of the festivities start, before orientation starts. You get a little while to settle in, relax. If you're from out of state or you've never been to California, you get a little while to orientate yourself. Orient yourself. I can't talk today. So that way you're not feeling rushed or overwhelmed. So yes, it does seem like pageant is long, but it's really not. It's just to give you that time to decompress once you get here, and then you have time after pageant to decompress before you have to hit the road.
Yes, especially when you are coming from the East Coast.
I personally, I drive from Idaho to California, and so I spend Sunday, August 6th, making the long drive back to where I live.
Home. Yeah.
So, and I have 2 small children, and we stop a lot to go potty. So it takes a while.
Oh my God, they stop so much. Okay. My children have been traveling since they were in utero, so we don't stop as much. Things actually start on the evening of the 3rd. We will be hosting an orientation probably sometime between 5 and 6 p.m. to start, like starting sometime between 5 and 6 p.m. We'll have exact times in the next week or two. And we will be doing a full orientation. So we will be explaining how interview works and doing kind of mock interviews. We will be handing out swag bags. I love that. That's giving presents is my favorite thing. Okay. So never worry about that. I'm constantly giving presents out.
We feed you and give you presents a lot.
Yes, those are my two favorite things to do for pageant. It's not even for me. It's not even the crowning or anything.
No,
My
it's
favorite
just
things
like
are giving
feed
you
you
presents
and
and
give you
feed
presents.
you. Yeah, so we will be handing out swag bags. We will be discussing doing mock interviews. That one we'll do in like a round robin. We'll ask a question and then give each delegate the chance to answer, so everybody can kind of hear the answers together. We will go over on-stage question and tell you what the on-stage question is going to be. There is one on-stage question. It is the exact same for everyone. So you don't have to tell your answer at orientation, but you will be told the question at orientation, so you have time to go over the question with yourself. We will be doing a photo shoot. We will be orientation kind of things. So we will be talking about proper appearance attire.
We'll go over appearance attire, appearance etiquette, what constitutes an appearance versus just something fun that you're doing in Crown and Sash.
Yes,
those are lots of questions that we've had over the last couple of months. So we decided to include that in orientation this year.
And when I say younger, I mean under 18. So if you hear me say older, I mean over 18. If you hear me say younger, I mean under 18. We'll be able to answer parental questions.
Yes.
So parents are absolutely welcome. Families welcome. I believe we're hosting here at pageant headquarters.
I believe that's the plan. Yes.
So young children will be asked to go outside and play with the ambassadors, with the youth ambassadors.
And there will be several of them here.
Yeah, and there'll be supervision, of course. But we have 3, 4, 5 youth ambassadors that will be hosting the youngers. So if you need to bring a sibling with you or something and they're not the sit still kind, because who is, they will be asked to join the activities outside to play. But that's what we're doing Thursday. Friday is going to be where you get to go see the host town. We have gorgeous statues. We are going to go to one of my favorite lunch spots. I believe we were going to try to do the Sacramento tour.
I think so. We were going to try.
If everybody arrives on time, we should be able to do the Sacramento tour, because that's where we find all of the displays for fallen firefighters, police officers. We find the state capitol, and we can take pictures of the state capitol. It's just an amazing, like, there's the Veterans Memorial that's there. And it has this really cool thing where the light shines through at certain times of the day. And it's just, oh my gosh, it's amazing down there.
Yeah, it's really cool. And if you enjoy history, there's a lot of history there that we try to touch on. None of us are like history experts, but we do like to touch on the pieces of history and why they're important to us.
And once you're with us, your transportation's covered. So the moment that you're like with us, you're with us. You're either in her van or my van. You're with us. Now, if you have family that wants to come to the tour, then they got to drive and just follow us. So, but again, family is welcome on the tour as well. I believe the only place family is not welcome is interview.
Pretty much. Family's welcome at everything.
As far as I know. Yeah, as far as I know. Now, the tea party is happening again this year, but the tea party is not under 18. I mean, 16, 17. I'm thinking it's not toddler friendly.
No.
There's no nice way to say that. The tea party is not toddler friendly.
No.
So that's the only part where it's going to be a little, I don't know. We will have, again, people set aside to watch the younger family members. So, but in general, the tea party isn't really toddler friendly.
No,
They're
and
still welcome, and we will have the kids table.
now, are we doing the tea party at the host hotel or
Yes,
at?
we are.
Okay,
The
that's
host
what
hotel. Yes. The youth ambassadors will be at their annual awards party.
yes.
So unfortunately, the youth ambassadors will not be hosting their tea party this year because they are having their party somewhere else.
We do ask that if you have a small sibling or child that needs attention during the tea party, let us know ahead of time so we can make sure we have enough coverage.
Yes. Again,
kiddos.
family friendly. And if you want to compete, but you have a child, and again, you're welcome. Just you have to let us know so we can arrange for all of that. We have a baby gate set up. I call it Baby Thunderdome. But we have an octagon set up so that they can actually have space, but we have to know ahead of time so we can bring it. And then know ahead of time because we provide babysitters for our moms that are competing that have littles. But we have to know about it ahead of time. So if there's mamas out there that need to bring their babies with them, you just got to let us know ahead of time so that we can arrange for the babysitters. There was one year where we had a mom competing with a little. Samantha had a little, and I was nannying a little.
Yes.
And I didn't want her mom to miss work, so I said, just bring her. And then we hired outside. Plus our kids were still little.
Yeah, they were so little.
We had 2 official babysitters, and they watched everybody's kids. There was 2 of them, and there was
8. There was like 8 kids, I think.
8 kids, yeah. Like 2 babies, and then the rest were like 4 and up. But yeah, so we actually provide child care for those mamas who need to bring their littles with them to compete. So please don't let that stand in your way. And then Friday night is the masquerade ball. I'm so excited.
The very first one we've ever held. We're super excited for it.
We have attended other masquerades that were not masquerades. They just weren't. Like, total shade on the people who called them masquerades. This year, our masquerade ball, we are talking formal attire. We will have the masks for sale. They won't be expensive, but they will be for sale for everyone. We will have a place to do formal pictures for everyone. And we're talking ball gowns. We will have tiaras for sale, and it's a fundraiser. We're going to have the silent auction with items. We've already got a couple donations for items. We're very excited about that. So go ahead and tickets.
So tickets, we do have a limited number of tickets. Now, contestants, your ticket is included in the price of your entry fee again. But if you've got a family member that wants to come, tickets are, I believe we said $25 a piece. It can be purchased through the website. But those extra tickets are limited. So the sooner you get your tickets, the better. Let's see.
But yeah, again, the delegate themselves.
Yep.
It's included in there.
Your ticket is already included. But if you've got a spouse or a parent, I love that so much.
I'm so excited.
If you've got a parent or a spouse that would like to attend as well, they will need to purchase their ticket through the website. Again, only $25. It's a fundraiser. We want people to be able to come. So it's not a crazy expensive ticket. It's inexpensive. And then again, we'll have, like, if you don't have a mask for the masquerade, don't freak out. We will have a few different little options to purchase. Crowns and sashes are not happening.
No, we're not. Yes, there will be no crowns and sashes.
You can wear a tiara because tiaras are just like
tiara.
Yeah, like little.
I was gonna see where I put it, but it's in the big box.
Yeah, my tiaras are up. I could probably reach it. Hold on.
Yes, mine's already packed in the box. I already have the whole thing packed, ready to go. so we can just pick it up and take it to the hotel.
Bonus to my office being my garage is that all the things are right there.
Well, I can get to it. It's just
Where's
packed.
the camera? There it is. So just little.
Yes.
So
Okay.
no
and
more than I think tiaras are about 2 inches. No more than 2 inches high.
yes. And then that's going to be the website, and you go to shop, drop down, and click masquerade. And that's how you.
We're very excited. This is the first ever Masquerade Ball fundraiser, and if it goes well, it will become an annual thing that we do during pageant weekend.
Yes. So, and then Saturday, there we go. So Saturday, again, a full itinerary with times will be sent to all delegates.
We're just locking down all the details and organizing the itinerary, and then I guess parents too. Parents and delegates will get the itinerary the week prior to pageant.
Yes. So then the day of pageant, like I said, that's probably the only time where parents got to back off. If you're coming with parents. If you are the parent, again, let us know so we can make sure you have childcare. So we do the tea party, okay? And it's very elegant, and we have tea dresses and big hats, and I actually bring several hats that are from my personal collection for everyone if somebody wants to wear a hat and doesn't have one.
Now, I personally am not a hat person, but I have one of those cute little side hats that I use because I don't like things hanging in front of my face. So if a sensory thing is an issue, we will have some other little hats too.
Yes, we have options for hats. And again, it's included. The tea party is included in everything. It's just part of the fun. And this year, I think we're going to do the prizes.
Yay.
So,
one of my favorite things about Tea Party, I'm sorry, I have to.
No, do it.
The food that's provided, most of it comes out of the owner's garden.
Yes.
Literally local food. You know, the breads are handmade by the owners and myself. We have different variety of tea options, hot, and I think occasionally we have cold teas available. I can't remember.
Yeah, we always have hot and cold teas. We have non-tea for, those who aren't into tea.
Right.
We have lemonade.
But my favorite part is that, almost all the food for the tea party comes from the backyard of the owners.
Yes. That's literally out that door is my garden.
Right out that door.
It's my garden.
So it's literally locally homegrown food.
Yes, the cucumber sandwiches and the cucumbers are from my garden. We do these beautiful fried potatoes that my husband makes. He's the co-owner, and they literally come from my garden.
They're so
I
good.
know. The youth ambassadors will get to go and pick those potatoes this year. If the tomatoes are looking good, they can pick those as well, and we can have those with the veggie trays and stuff. So yes, everything is usually garden to table from our home, except for condiments.
Farm to fork, because it's not a farm, but garden to table.
No, it's a garden with a pig sanctuary.
Pigs are separate.
Oh yeah, they would eat the garden.
They would eat the garden. Hardcore. Bye, garden.
So I love that too, as the food provided is about 80% from my garden. But we do the tea party, and that's just so everybody can kind of get together, and it's a brunch. You'll find we don't do anything really, really early. I'm not a morning person. So it's a brunch. And then from the brunch, everybody will have probably a half an hour while we clean and set up.
Which, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, because we're hosting the tea party at the host hotel, they can get ready there at the hotel.
Yes. We will have the directors, owner, director, whatever. I think it's called the director's room because I guess I don't know how that works. I own it. I'm paying for it. Okay. But the owner director room will also be the changing room.
Yeah. So if you're not staying at the hotel, then where you're going to be able to get ready is going to be in our room. And even if you are staying at the hotel, you are more than welcome to come join all the other contestants and get ready in our room as well.
Yes.
That way you're all centrally located. It's not very far from the event room. It's all just right there.
And as far as I know, we will, for interview, I believe, I'll double check, but we will have someone doing makeup for interview if needed. But I got to check the pricing and if they're still willing to do it. During the competition itself, I don't know. I have to check on that.
That would be something to check, because there's not a ton of time in between interview, but your makeup for interview is going to look a little different than for on stage.
Yes. Yes. And that we go over all of that
during orientation.
Mm-hmm. So essentially about half an hour of downtime, and then you would start getting ready for interview, and then we have interviews. And then after interview, we'll probably have some snacks because I'm going to be hungry. And then after that, we'll start rehearsal, and we'll be doing a full rehearsal because I want everyone to be comfortable with what they're doing. I want everyone to know what door you're going in, going out, what you're doing on stage, what you're saying on stage. I don't want anybody going in blind. If you look good, I look good. So I need you to look good.
And not just that, like, we also want to keep nerves as low as possible and
we want it to be fun.
We want it to be fun. We want you to feel comfortable and at ease, because if you're comfortable and at ease, you're much more relaxed and you do a much better job being yourself on stage. And that's what the judges are going to get to see.
Yes. I want the judges to scratch their heads because they don't know who they want to win. Okay. I want them turning in their scores and going, I have no idea.
Right. Yeah. So, and that does bring up scoring. Scoring,
Yes.
It's a point-based system. I believe it's 360
points total.
So you get 100 up to a maximum of 120 points per judge on the mandatory phases of competition. Optionals are judged separately. They're not included in your overall score.
No. And they get to they'll have your face and what optional you did, and they get to write in your score there.
Yeah, those are different scoring points for optionals. But for the main portion of competition, those mandatory phases of competition, the wow-ware, the formal-ware, the interview, on-stage question, and your platform presentation that happens during interview. Did I miss one? I feel like I missed one.
You can say it one more time.
I'll say it one more time. Interview, wow-ware, formal-ware, on-stage question, and then your platform presentation.
Nope,
Okay, that's where those points come from. So each judge has 120 points up to maximum that you can get from each judge.
Yes.
And then the judges will leave comments that you're welcome to have later, so you can see where you did well.
Literally, if you want your score sheet, catch me before we leave. I will hand you your score sheets. What am I going to do with them? I don't need them. There are 0 reasons for me to have your score sheet. So when we're done, because the tabulator has the scores. So I have the tabulator's record of scores. And it's literally copied from your score sheet to the tabulator's paper. He does all of that himself. So you want your score sheet, it's yours. You just got to tell me, and we like, here you go.
Now, in the event of a tie, we have a separate onstage question. Do we tell them that on ahead of time? We haven't had to use the tiebreaker.
We haven't had to use the tiebreaker, but if we have to use the tiebreaker, you will not know that question.
And we generally don't allow you to know that question because one of the things that we look for, you're interviewing for a job, for the job of Community Service America or Accomplished American Grand Supreme, national
or
title,
national, yes,
etc. You're interviewing for that job. And one of the things that comes up when you are out in your community doing Crown and Sash, or in a Crown and Sash, I can't talk today, spontaneous questions are going to come up.
Yes.
So some of that is to help you get used to thinking on your toes.
One of my favorites still to this day, and that was in 2007 that it was asked. So some of our delegates weren't even born yet. I'm not kidding. So my favorite question was, oh, so like accomplished American. So is that like overachievers? And she looked him dead in the eye, smiled sweetly, and said, or you could consider everyone else an underachiever. Have a great day, and walked away. You got to be able to think on your feet. And it probably took him a few minutes before he got offended. But I was there when it happened, and I laughed the rest of the day. So you got to be able to think on your feet. Another one that just happened at the 4th of July is somebody yelled to one of our queens, hey, what does your title mean? And she got the biggest smile, and she yelled back exactly what her title meant and what she does with it. And it was beautiful. So that's one of the reasons that the tiebreaker question, should we need to use it, is not something you will get to know ahead of time. So, but everyone goes in on a level playing field. Everyone. Even if you don't think that you have enough of something, okay, it's not quantity, it's quality.
Right.
So, that, you know, we have stay-at-home moms that come in and just wipe the competition. You know, and you know, maybe they don't get the academic award, maybe they don't get, you know, the career award, but they take Grand Supreme home. You know, so it's not the quantity, it's the quality. All right, anything else before we do any other questions?
I don't think so. I think we've covered pretty much anything. Again, if questions come up, feel free to type them in the comments or shoot us an email. And we're
email is the fastest way. If you try to message me on Instagram or Facebook, they don't tell me that you've messaged me.
It might take a few days to see the message.
But if you email me, it goes right to my phone.
Same. So.
And there's a greater chance of me knowing where my phone is than of Instagram telling me you messaged me. Which is sad because I lose my phone all day long.
Multiple times a day does she lose that phone. But the only time she doesn't lose it is if I'm on the phone with her. And even then, she still managed to lose me. At least twice.
Yes. So anyway, we want this to be fun. Okay, we want you to have a good time. You will not go hungry with us unless you choose to. Okay, that is something really important. We've both competed where contestants have passed out because they didn't have enough food or water. And I've competed where people didn't have the extra money because they spent it all getting to the pageant and on the pageant, and they really didn't have extra money to be eating like they should be. So we take care of that. We eat something, even if it's a snack, at least every 2 hours, because that's how I eat. Yeah.
So, but I think we've covered everything.
Okay.
Some of these things we will, as we mentioned, we'll go more in depth during orientation and rehearsal.
Oh, I gotta.
You know what we didn't talk about was the pajama party.
Oh, because we're not doing that this year.
That's a good reason why we're not talking about it. I'm just
because we're doing the masquerade ball instead.
I need to go back to bed, guys. Samantha's tired. Okay. Yes. So that would be why we didn't talk about the pajama party, because we're swapping it out with the masquerade.
Yes. Okay. Now, if after the masquerade people want to stay around, clean up, and still do a pajama party, I'm open to it, because we're sending everybody, like, the cutoff is 8 p.m. We're doing the masquerade ball from 6 to 8 because. And
why, we ask? Because we want you to have rest.
Well, we want you to have rest, and so Samantha and I aren't going to rest. Are you kidding?
We're not, but we got
to set everything up for the next day.
We have to get things ready for the next day. However, we want you to have time, again, to decompress, do a foot soak or a face wash or whatever you do to decompress before pageant day. So
yes. Okay. So
but I think we covered everything.
Any more questions? Because we definitely went over our half an hour. We were gonna plan another one of these closer.
Yes, I think. Where did my calendar go? That's July. I need the August one. No, I want July.
23rd, 24th.
How about 25th? Like maybe that morning because I'm driving on the 24th and I have the kid's birthday party on the 23rd. So that way we can.
Are
What?
you going to be able to get on? We'll work it out. We'll let you guys know.
Yeah. It'll be that last week of July. Put it that way.
Yes, it'll be the last week of July, right before, so everybody can ask their final questions. And again, if a question comes up, please ask.
Please do.
Okay. There may be dumb questions, but we will answer them anyway.
We would never tell you it was a dumb question, even if it was.
No. I just won't pretend there aren't dumb questions. Okay, this is a really great question again, Lila. Do families need to buy tickets to get into the actual competition? No, they do not.
It is free entry.
Yep. So the competition is free to watch, especially for families. So I think that's it.
Awesome sauce.
Okay. So yeah, if you think of any other questions, just email them to us and we will be back again the last week of July. For now, get out there, get those sponsors, go find some other delegates. Oh, we should tell that one real quick.
Which one? Oh, yeah.
The special, if you have a friend, the Bring a Friend program, and then we really got to get off. We have what's called a Bring a Friend program. And if you have a friend that wants to compete and they pay their entry fee in full, you get a percentage off of your entry fee. Mm-hmm. So what did Jim tell us? How many, if you bring in 4 friends?
6. Okay, you're saying 4, I'm saying 6. That's not helpful.
No, 5 friends. If you bring in, it was 4 or 5 friends. I think it was 4. Yeah. If you bring in 4 fully paid friends, your entry would be free. Mm-hmm. And that's the Bring a Friend discount. I've only had one person ever use it.
I know.
So, all right, guys, thank you for joining us. I will post when we're coming back when we figure out which day that is. So, and if you have questions, please send them to us. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.